Welcome into some live images coming in from the 2025 Tour de Bloom individual time trial out there today. Had our first few riders rolling off. We are into just outside the top 20 riders here. I think this is, let's see, at a 9:19 start coming up here. Looking at Bethany Ingram about to take off here. We'll see as our first finishing time comes in what the early finish times will be out here. I would expect to see those coming back, let's say sometime around 9:30. We'll see our first times returning here. Right now, though, awaiting the start of what should be Katerina Gregorio. Sorry, check that. Megan Brinkmeyer up next for a 9:19, 9:20 start, and then Sarah Everson behind her. Lauren Stevens, last starter of the day today at 10:33 local time, widening her GC lead after yesterday's stage. She goes up to 12 seconds ahead of Aaliyah Shafi, who will be our second final starter out there today. And then Marlies Mejias wearing number one on her back, sitting in third at 33 seconds down. She's had a tough time out there so far. Much different year of racing compared to last year for Virginia's Blue Ridge 2028 here at Tour de Bloom. It should be Sarah Everson up next in the start house here. Time trial course is a pretty straightforward out and back, kind of through a valley, not a ton of elevation change. They do it is downhill on the way out and then uphill on the way back across the roughly 30K. Well, I think it's dead on at 30K actually. LA Sweat up next with Regina Doty. If you want to take a look at the course map here, it is available on the Tour de Bloom website under race info, and then you'll see the tech guides there, looking for the pro tech guide, and then you can see well, all the stages, including today's stage 4 Palisades time trial. Tech guide calls it good pavement. You can see a nice little look down the road right there. Looks like pretty smooth. They will have fully closed roads for the UCI women's race here, so they're going to have full use of at least the lane. I would think that because it's an out and back, they're going to try and enforce the center line rule. Riders getting used to the standing start, increasingly rare, even to have the opportunity to do a time trial, let alone one with the holder. But this is how you learn. That's one of the great things about Tour de Bloom, keeping stage racing alive here in the United States. And so that was Emily Dreiger. Should be Emma Dresler up next into the start house here. Riders starting at 1 minute intervals today. We'll see how many riders catch their minute women up the road. Over 30K. There's probably enough distance here to see a few catches out there. Although the fact that they're starting in a full reverse GC order here, unless we have a standout performance from a rider here looking for a good stage result. Not really a lot of pressure on these riders early on here. They've mostly been team workers for their GC leader. Be Jen Wheeler up next for the Fountain Cycling Guild. Wheeler, one of the leaders and owners of that squad, along with a rider. Talked about her a lot yesterday. Big part of Leah Shafi's success. In fact, Shafi's personal coach, as well as teammate on the Fountain Cycling Guild. That'll bring up Stephanie Young, Sarah Bird up after that, Amia Irvin Arambari, followed by Lisa Lowe, Scott Pellerin, and Anna Dorovsky up next for a 9:31 local start time. Looking at Sarah Bird getting ready to take off here for a 9:27 start. Be tag cycling up after that. Another standout Devo program. We've watched a lot of successful riders come out of that tag program over the last few years. Nice little downhill start off of this one. I'll be curious to see if wind conditions change throughout the day. It's pretty calm right now. Probably 54 degrees out there with winds at 6 miles an hour. Not anticipated to change much throughout the day today, so call it a light breeze, if anything. It looks like we are starting to see finishers coming in as well. I'm going to try and get a glimpse at that clock, though. I think it's just showing time of day, though. So we're going to have to figure out how to ID riders at the finish if we can get a shot of the time of day, I will be able to lock that in, and then I'll try and back time it to their time of day start time and try and figure out at least some time for some riders here. Then our next riders off with Elisa Lowe will be Sky Pellerin and Dorovsky, Samantha Dorr, and Annie Gilbert up next to leave the start house. Might have been maybe Hannah Thomas finishing up there. Having trouble grabbing numbers as they roll by. I'll do my best to grab as many as I can as we get those finish shots. Sky Pellerin getting ready to roll off out of the start house here. It's a good place to start again with that little downhill run. It certainly makes it just that much easier to get things rolling on the TT bike. Full page of starters after this, and then again our GC battle really starts unfolding just right around 10:30 local time in Pacific time out in Washington. Minoru Minagawa, Lorena Villamazar, Paula Gil, Marleis Mejias, Aaliyah Shafi, and Lauren Stevens all going within that 5 or 6 minute block. So going to be a pretty good one out there. I think this Lauren Stevens is probably the favorite on paper here today, but Leah Shafi and Marleis Mejias both have experience with this style of TT racing. Paula Gil, decent time trials as well. Lorena Villamazar had some good rides over the last couple weeks, so still open. It's going to be interesting. This looks like a finish on the way in here. First few riders: Friedman, Camargo, Thomas, Goodsvard, Humans, Singleton, Nottingham all left the start house already. I'm going to guess maybe Goodsvard on that one. I did not get a look at that clock either. You can see the out and back riders heading out just past here and then coming back to the finish. Not everyone going to have a support car either, so see if we could maybe at least spot a jersey here. Maybe Orion Racing? Yeah. That would be Sarah Yeomans. We'll call that a 9:33:10 off a 9:04 start. Oh boy, we're in for some math today. So call that right around 29 minutes. Next finishers behind Human should be Emily Singleton, Grace Nottingham, and Leah Goldberg. Next up to finish behind Humans. That must be Singleton through. Like some riders going to ditch the team kit as well, make my job even tougher with the all black skin suit today. All right, sorry about the picture buffering here. We're doing our best to bring you as much live images as possible. I've only got one time here. It's right around 29 minutes. We saw Sarah Humans coming through with a 9:33:10 finishing time. I'll see if I can get any more times and bring those to you as they become available. The Comp Edge Racing jersey there. Which at a 38:17 must be a pretty good time. Give me a second here. weird. I do not have a comp edge rider unless they change the team code. Hmm. Or maybe I missaw the comp edge jersey. I will try and figure that out. Might have been a good time for Aubrey Drummond. He is going to be my guess on that comp edge rider. Just went straight through. No, that can't be right because she only had a 9:36 local start time. Stand by for more. 'Maybe a United jersey. I'm also watching this over Zoom. My colors are a little washed out on my end as well, so my apologies as I do my best to try and spot these riders. It maybe would have been Leah Goldberg, the United Cyclery squad. Call it a 12 941 finish. Nine 42 finish for what I think was an analog jersey. Could have been Eleanor Roberts. Would have been 135. Now that's got to be a comp edge jersey for sure. LA Sweat through the line. That's got to be Regina Doty, first LA Sweat rider to take off. So now we are into some 9:22 finishing times. Call that a 9:44 local time finish, which would get her in right around 22 minutes. We got Skylar Goodsward on her way back, finishing up. Nine 45:10 for what I think is Emily Dreiger through the line there for the Cyclery Racing team. Let's see if this is maybe a red truck jersey. It'd be Emma Dresler. Yeah, that looks like it could be. And call that a 9:46 even approximately. So that'd be about 24 minutes. Again, unfortunately, I do not have a current fast time. I'm still trying to get that info from on the ground here. Doing my best to guess on sometimes as these riders come through, just based on time of day finishes, and then trying to compare those to time of day start times. CCB on the way in now. I'm looking for a CCB start here, which I don't see early on. Might have an outdated start list here. We'll see if we can pick up the rest. That's a Team S&M jersey for sure. have Kim Lucci until a 9:47 start time. Hmm. Lucci certainly didn't do this course in 2 minutes, unless we're watching them head out. That would make sense if they start down the road here and still waiting to see him come back. So I think we're at the finish line watching starters come off the line here, because that was almost surely Kim Lucci that just went by with a 9:47 local start time. And we'll see if this is Riley McMullen next. I'm just looking at reverse GC order here. See if this is a Virginia's Blue Ridge jersey. I'll buy that. So it should take us to Margot McBurney up next for the Coalition cycling team. You know what? I'll bet you that was McBurney that just went by. So now we'll look for Ava Hockman here. This looks like an analog jersey. Yeah, that looks like Hockman to me heading out. All right, and we just saw Emily Singleton coming back, which means we're starting to see finishers on the way back here. So I'll call that a 9:52 finish for Singleton. Again, all these times unofficial. I am completely working off time and day to try to figure these out here. I'll bring them to you as they become available. Singleton with a 9:52 local time finish would have been right around 47 minutes. This is going to be Brenna Rice Simpson, I think, taken off, heading out. See if we can spot who this is coming back. It'll be a 9:54, call it 15 for tag cycling. Must be Marley Beckett. going to be about 44, call it 44.15. Back of the napkin math for her. All right. Well, that's the only time that I really feel good about here. So I guess we'll call that our benchmark here. Beckett was about 12 riders into the start here. So I will use that as my temperature gauge here, right around 44 minutes for finishers coming through here. Oh boy. 55.20. Or maybe Goldberg that just came through. Claudia Ferreira through next. That'll be a decent time. She started 4 minutes behind Beckett. And if that was Ferreira that just came through, that was well under 4 minutes. Couldn't see the clock when she came through. There you go. So I guess I'll take 20 seconds off of that. Unfortunately, my time of day, this is a delayed feed that we're looking at here. So see if I can, and then it buffers. I was going to say maybe I could sync a clock to this clock that you see on the screen here and try and figure out what the delay is in time of day. But I think because of the nature of this remote area. Oh, all right. So that was the finisher through. More starters underway as well. These should be, let's see, a tag jersey. That's probably Vanessa Montrichard. There we go. We're going to go back to the start. It's just 9:57 start. Yeah, so that would have been Montrichard as Natalia Sofroniuk for the Pato bike team rolls out. There's a look at what you're looking at from the start. So I think these riders are about a minute, minute and a half from going through the finish line the other way. And that's what we're seeing, or were seeing earlier. Should be Ella Brenneman that was about to take off there. This is probably Kim Stoveld from Automatic Racing heading out. And there goes CCB's Ella Brenneman. So it'll be Lexi Snover up next, followed by Sophia Areola, Cheyenne Noble, Kaya Musgrave, and Stephanie Halamek up next in the start house. Finishers coming back through. Should be looking at names like Helena Merck, Eleanor Roberts, Claudia Ferreira, Elizabeth Vags, Megan Whitford, and Emily Neal. So this is Snover leaving the start house. I think we're picking up, yeah, that looks like a BMC on her sleeve. So that would be Pato Bike with Natalia Sofroniuk heading out. This will be Sophia Areola up next. And a loyal lieutenant, Marleas Mejias all week. And unfortunately, she has sacrificed her GC hopes here. So I don't know that Sophia needs to do much on a day like today. Sophia going to attack this one with vigor, though, out of the start house. This will be Cheyenne Noble up next in the start house. Couple seconds to her start for the Orion Racing Team. We are just into about halfway through our starters here. Noble into 33rd on GC, so actually more like a third left out there as Kaya Musgrave getting ready to line up, followed by Stephanie Halamek, Michelle Schaefer, Grace Arlinson, and Evany Blondin up after that. See if we can go back to the finish, maybe get some times there. Again, the only times I really got were some early 44, 45 minute-ish times. I'm almost sure those will have fallen by now as more riders to continue to roll in here, but I will let you know as that becomes available. Kai Musgrave rolling off for Team S and M. That'll bring up Grace Arlinson into the start house next. Check that. How about Stephanie Halamek? I think that makes a little more sense. And these are more starters on the way out. These are the riders that would have just started like a minute or two ago. Just watch Cheyenne Noble roll through. So again, 30K out and back. This is the out part that you're seeing right here. And then you see on the way back, they can only use that right lane to hit the line and come back. Here is Arlinson. Looks like she's getting a little info from a teammate over there. Automatic had a great ride yesterday in the closing kilometers of the plain road race for stage 3. Did a really good job getting a nice train up there. They were aggressive in the mix. I was really impressed with the way that they were able to ride. We'll see if they can use any of that train power in the TT today. Let's see who this is finishing up. Call it a 10:04:05 for, well, it must be a speed block jersey. Maybe Kelly Brennan? Yeah, that sounds about right. Be about a 40, little over 47-minute ride for Brennan there. All right, got some info here for you. Current fast time is Claudia Ferrero from Monarch Racing with a 42:36. So she came in about 12 riders after the start. Previous fast time before that was a 42:32. And then they're also reporting a 41:40 for Skylar Goudsvard. So that might be your fast time. Let me get clarification on that. All right, as I try and chase down some more times here, we'll go back up to the start house. Looking at maybe a Pato bike jersey, Jessica Pata maybe, about to take off. I think that's Michelle Schaefer. That could have been an LA Sweat jersey. That would make sense. Schaefer starting just a couple minutes before Pata. Yeah, so I think we just missed Potter rolling off. This will be Andrea Sear, I think, up next for the Fount Cycling Guild. There we go. I see the green jersey there. Sear, another one of the multi-talented riders on that squad, a practicing doctor and elite level bike racer for the last few years as well. Couple more finishers coming through. All right, so I think the camera that we just saw before that just showed the same thing. It must be on a little bit of a delay, so I think we just watched the same finish twice there. Couple riders coming in together. Let's see if I can figure out who that might be. Ryan and someone else. The Orion Racing rider would be Megan Brinkmeyer, maybe. Let me see if my sources on the ground can figure out some finish times for them. Again, no live timing here. We are just trying to work off of hand timing, trying to match up time of day and finishers of riders rolling through here. Ooh. These held starts are tough if you're not familiar with them. It's just not something that you do. You do a lot, not a situation you come across a lot. So I don't blame these riders that are struggling with it a little bit at the start. See this rider given very good instructions. I think this is Yareli Acevedo. Yeah, that would make sense. Acevedo knows what she's doing. That looked like a one. Was that 192? Intrepid viewer at home. Maybe 182. Sarah Everson. Give her a 10:10 local start time, or local finish time, let me say, which puts her at about 49 minutes. Again, the only fast time I have here is 42:36 from Claudia Ferreira of Monarch Racing. Watch Lawrence Howden roll off the start line. It's going to bring us down to our last 20 or so riders. Elizabeth Dixon, Annie Scott, Anna Magala, Anna Hicks, Ariel Verharen, Cynthia Pham, Catherine Sheridan, and Georgia Bond. Your next starters coming up here. Got about 20 more minutes of starts. Our last one, GC leader Lauren Stevens taking off at 10:33 local time. All right, got some more updated times in here with a new fast time of 41:19 set by Jen Wheeler, way long time ago, early starter here. So we'll put 41:19 at the top of the list here. Goodsward with a 41:40 behind her, and then Sarah Yeomans with a 42:43. Not sure where that 42:36 of Claudia Ferreira falls in there, but we'll say 41:19 for Jen Wheeler, your new fast time. Right, back out to the finish line here. Should be looking at An Anna Hicks start coming up next. There's your Virginia's Blue Ridge 2028 rider. And more riders heading out at that 2-minute interval. I think that was Annie Scott. You just saw her rolling away. All right, here's some finishers on the way. 9:15:10. Couldn't see a number. This will be Ariel Verhaeren up into the start house next. Verhaeren, a former Olympic level BMX racer, takes her bike handling skills, adds some fitness to that massive engine, and turns into one of the best long range bike racers in the U.S. right now. 10:16 finish for the black skin suit across the line. And so that must be Hicks heading out. So we should be looking at right around like a 9:30 start time for the riders to be coming back. I'm going to be looking for names like Lisa Lowe, Sky Pellerin, Anna Dorovsky, Samantha Dorr, and Annie Gilbert. I should start seeing some finishing times from them. That would put them right around 40 minutes. Might be a little past that. Again, my screen I'm doing my best to pick out team jerseys for you here, but slim pickings out here. All right, here goes Verhaeren on the way out. She was a big part of that automatic train up at the front yesterday. With, I think 2 other teammates heading out with her. Meanwhile, Catherine Sheridan rolling out of the start house. That'll bring up Georgia Bond for the CCB racing team up next. And down to our last 15 riders here with Bond. It'll go Betuel, Scott, Chapman, O'Neill, Azeltine, Erlick, Kosiva, Rush, Minagawa, Via Mazar, Gil, Mejia, Shafi, and Stevens, your remaining UCI women's starters. Here is Dana Scott taking her start for Monarch Racing. So I think Monarch is the ones running these kind of dark or black skin suits. See if that helps in picking out some unidentified riders at the finish. It'll be Jamie Chapman up next, the Speedblock Tarun NorCal squad. Or Tarun, I think it is. Got to get it right. Heard it's good pizza. Look forward to trying it one day. And there goes Chapman. I'll bring up Kara O'Neill from Team S&M up next. And then comes Mia Asseltine and Emily Erlick up after that. Asseltine, your current best young rider in the white jersey competition. Comes into the day today at 10th place overall for Comp Edge Racing at 55 seconds down on GC. Just got a message from out on course. Sounds like the wind is starting to pick up. That's going to change things because these late starters now are going to have to deal with a lot more wind. They're reporting it as a cross tailwind going out, and then that would mean a cross headwind coming back to the finish. So second half of this is going to be tougher for these late starters, which interestingly enough are also our GC contenders. Hazeltine getting ready to roll. You see Emily Erlick lined up just behind her. Erlick could have a good time today. She's a great time trialist on a 30K course like this. The wind is going to be the big factor here for most of these riders over the next 10 minutes taking off here. I think that's Chapman headed out in the pink jersey. Finisher coming through. At 10:24. Again, didn't catch a number. There's Erlick back in the start house. Jen Wheeler remains in the hot seat. 41:19, the early fast time set by her. She's been watching this time tick away for a while now. And now down to just about 10 more starters here. As we get into these last few starters, we'll talk a little bit about the GC situation. Again, Lauren Stevens adding time yesterday on the plain road race, that final climb. She was able to gap off almost everyone except Aaliyah Shafi, and then even then she dropped Shafi on the way up to the top in the last couple hundred meters. So Shafi starts the day at 12 seconds down on GC. And then Marleis Mejias at 33 seconds back. Just saw that Comp Edge jersey finishing up. We'll see if I can ID who that might have been. Meanwhile, looking at your Uzbek time trial champion, Nafosek Kosiva.
10 seconds.
This one looking for a good result today from her. We'll keep an eye on 155 taking off. It'll be Catherine Rush up next for CCB Racing as we watch Mia Azeltine head out for Comp Edge. Here's a finisher on the way in. It's got to be Speed Block. Bunch of finishers on the way in here. And again, these riders started at minute intervals, so I'm having trouble IDing riders at the finish. Again, fastest time we have is just under 42, a 41, actually a little over 41, a 41.19 for Jen Wheeler. So if these riders did, let's say, 45-minute rides, that'd be a good average. The riders finishing right now would be right around a 9:45 local start time. So names like Sophie Hebert, Josephine Pelikin, Brenna Polly, Catherine Rode, Rachel Urban, and Lily Sonneman should be making their way in right now. Meanwhile, back up to the start house where we're into our last, call it 5 riders with Lorena Villamizar in the start house here, starting the day 5th place overall for the Pato bike team. They were super aggressive yesterday as well. The Colombians sitting at 47 seconds down on GC. It'll be Paula Gil up next, Marlais Mejias, Aaliyah Shafi, and then the pink jersey of Lauren Stevens taking off after that. So just had a finish from Rachel Urban, and then that looked like a Fount jersey to me. None of those going to challenge the current fast times out there. So Jen Wheeler's 41.19, holding steady.
Okay.
Watch Paula Gil taking off, and that takes us to our top 3. It'll be Marlais Mejias with number 1 on her back up next into the start house. Reporting early to work. Mejias got a lot on the line for this individual time trial. She needs a great result and maybe even a little slip up from names like Lauren Stevens starting just a couple minutes after her. Mejias, the veteran out of Cuba, has really been a leader on this Virginia's Blue Ridge 2028 team. Brings a wealth of experience with her. And now she's got to execute one more individual time trial. He is a former Cuban time trial national champion, so obviously no stranger to the discipline. That'll bring up Aaliyah Shafi in second place overall. I want to talk about a great story. The rise of Shafi through this Fount program has been really awesome to watch. Multi-sport athlete. He's a former runner, soccer player, and then eventually found cycling. That'll be Shafi rolling out of the start house here. Meanwhile, got some more finishers rolling through. Did you see, I think it was Josephine Pelican through the line for LA Sweat. So we are right around the 9:42 to 9:45 start slot. Those are the riders finishing up right now. As we go out to Lauren Stevens, your final starter of the day in the Team USA skin suit, getting ready to roll here. Looks like she is going to put that computer, I think, in her back pocket. Looked like she was getting ready to auto sync it as she takes off.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that'll send off our final rider of the day as Lauren Stevens takes to the course. 30K of racing ahead of her for the out and back. Just got a few more finishers through the reporting. Lily Sonneman just came through. So, yeah, we are in that sort of 9:45 start window here. Jen Wheeler still on top, 41-19. Nothing changing yet. Another finisher on the way in. I think that's going to be. It's going to freeze just as they come by. Might have been Coalition. Thought I saw a little streak of blue. That would be probably Rachel Urban. So call that a 10:37 for Rachel Urban with a 10:45 start time. Rounded to the nearest minute. Team S&M through next. That's going to be Kim Lucci. And these are the 9:47 start time. So it'll be right around 50 for her. See that wind starting to blow a little bit more. Again, it is sort of a head crosswind for them coming across here. It's going to be a straight headwind as they make their way into this sort of right-hand bend about 100 meters before the line, and then a little bit of crosswind coming across here. That has changed since this morning, so these last riders are dealing with much worse conditions. I think we're going to continue to see times drop, although these GC riders into the last 10 or 15, the TT specialists, they still got a shot at knocking down Jen Wheeler's 41:19. That must have been Brenna Rice Simpson through the finish. So she is going to be right around 47 minutes, something like that. Automatic racing, that's got to be Kim Stoveld through the line next. She'll take a 10:40.45 at the finish. Which is about a 44-minute ride for her. 41:19 remains your fastest time. It's another automatic jersey. I think. CCB in as well. It's got to be Ella Brenneman. with a 9:58 start time for Brenneman and a 10:41 finish. It's going to be close. It'll be a decent time, but still not good enough for Jen Wheeler's 41:19. Pato Bike up next. That's going to be Sofroniak. About 46 minutes for her. Tag jersey. We'll go with Vanessa Montrichard. See if I. Yeah, it's got to be tag. Is it 103? 104. Rachel Canning. Started 2 minutes before Montrichard at 9:53. There's Fount through. Must be Alexi Snover. 9:59 start time for Snover. Her finish time, I'll go 9:42:40, or sorry, 10:42:45. It's gonna be about 44 minutes for her as well. Not even close to Wheeler's 41:19. This is tag back through. That's got to be Vanessa Montrichard this time. Also saw Kimberly Chen through the line, finishing up a bit ago as well. Virginia Blue Ridge Riders, got to be Sophia Areola finishing up. She's going to make it easy on me. 10 o'clock start time on the dot. So it's about a 45, call it 45:30 for her. Orion with Cheyenne Noble following up. Going to be about 44, 45 for her. A little under 45 flat. Still looking for anything under 42. To see if they can match that 41:19 from Jen Wheeler. So Alexi Snover do a 43:43 earlier, but still waiting to see the podium fall in our hot seat. Sarah Yeomans with a 42:43. Skylar Goodsvard with a 41:40. And Jen Wheeler with a 41:19. I think they're just escorting traffic here. Let's see who this is. Looks like S&M maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Kaya Musgrave. Be my guess. Musgrave at a 10:02 start, 10:48 finish. So about a 46-minute ride for Kaya Musgrave there. All right, next rider up. Oh, I think that was maybe United Cycling. That makes sense with Stephanie Halamek. Blue jersey. Yeah, I'll go with that. 10:03 start, 10:50 finish. About 47-minute ride for her. Next finisher on the way in, runner on 10:43 finish time here. It's going to be Grace Arlinson for automatic racing. 49 minutes for Arlinson there. And I think this, yeah, that's got to be Evany Blondin. Much different riding style than Grace Arlinson. So Blondin going to have a little better time from Arlinson's 49. She's going to be a little closer to like 46, 47. Not only are we not seeing the hot seat times fall, we're not even seeing anyone come close to the 41:19 that Jen Wheeler set. Now, Jen Wheeler's a great time trialist, super strong rider, so that's part of it. But the fact that these times are coming in 45, 46, 47, 48 minutes tells me that Wheeler's got a good shot of winning this one today. Auto bike through next with Jessica Potter Rojas. I think that's Andrea Sear from Fount up next behind her. Sear with a 10:08 start time, 10:54:50 finish time. That must be Aurelia Acevedo coming in now. I can't do all this math that quickly. Acevedo might have a good time here. Call that a 10:55 finish. But it had a 10:10 start, so about 45 minutes for her as well. Be looking at Florence Howden, Elizabeth Dixon, Annie Scott, and Anna Migala, your next scheduled finishers if they hold on to their 1 minute gaps. You can see that Oakley flag continuing to blow in the wind, getting worse and worse as this goes on. Samantha the door through the line there, maybe. Again, I still think those three hot seat times are holding 41:19 for Jen Wheeler, 41:40 for Skylar Goodsvard, and 42:43 for Sarah Yeomans. What's really going to be the story is the relative time between the last five or six riders to start here. That is really the story that I think is going to be told today on an increasingly windy day. The only real thing I have to go off of is this black Oakley flag that you see on the screen, but it was pretty calm earlier today. It's starting to wave a little bit more now, and if that keeps up, these last few riders going to be in for some serious wind. The good news is all the GC riders are going to fight in the wind. So even though they might not win the TT day today, they're all going to have relatively similar conditions inside the last 10 or 15 minutes of finishers here today. My windsock there really starting to blow in the wind now as our next finisher approaches on the way in. It's going to be a Comp Edge jersey. Must be Caitlin Walcroft. 10:09 start time, 11 and 35 second finish, so she'll be just over 51 minutes. Still waiting on Howden, Dixon, Scott, Magala, and Hicks coming up here. This rider doing a good job of tucking in. I think it's maybe an automatic jersey. Whoa. Yeah. Automatic is going to be, Ariel Verhaeren. 10:16 start time for her. Verhaeren going to finish right around 10:01. I'm sorry, 11:01. So about 45 even for her. Good, but not great. Fountain. Looking for Emma Betuel up next. Dana Scott, Jamie Chapman, Kara O'Neill, and best young rider on GC, Mia Azeltine on the way up. Georgia Bond's second on the best young rider GC here. So there's also going to be a battle between Bond and Azeltine in the best young rider competition. So I'm going to put Georgia Bond at a rounded 43 minutes, and we'll keep track of Mia Azeltine's time as well when she comes through the line. Couple finishers coming through here together. I think that was a red truck jersey, probably Cynthia Pham. And it's going to put her at about a 47-minute ride on the day here. Not sure who the next rider that snuck through there was. Sorry, I missed that. Comes Virginia Blue Ridge 2028. 11:04:10, the finish time there for what I think is Anna Hicks. So put Hicks at about a 49, little over 49 minutes. Unless that was Erlick coming back, in which case it's going to be pretty close. Erlick had a, you just write the finish time down here. Erlick had a 10:25 start time. That might get her under 41. In fact, yeah, they're going to confirm. I think this is probably closer to 39 for Emily Erlick here. Oh, here we go. Race Radio saying 39:09 for Emily Erlick. That's going to be a new fast time here. So Erlick now into the hot seat. As expected, Pan Am gold medalist. Doing what she does best here. So that'll knock Jen Wheeler, I think, down to second as Emily Erlick blows the doors off of her 41:19 with a 39:09. Your new fast time and new time to beat. Erlick comes into the day at 54 seconds down on GC. We'll see if she can best Stevens by 54 seconds with a blazing 39:09 in the wind, mind you. These times have been increasingly higher as this day has gone on, and then we just watched Emily Erlick completely break that trend with a 39:09 new fast time and new leader on course. I think this is Azeltine on the way in now. Wow, it's going to be a great time for Mia Azeltine. Started just a minute ahead of Emily Erlick. Call that an 11:07 finish. So about a 42-minute ride for her. S&M up next. That's Kara O'Neill just went through the line. That'll be around 43 minutes. O'Neill started a minute before Azeltine, so not going to beat her time. Call it 43-ish, but 39:09, the big time to watch here for Emily Erlick, your new leader. Not many left. Kosiva started a minute later. She's not going to make it. Catherine Rush be the CCB rider up next. Then comes Minagawa via the Mazar, Heel, Mejia, Shafi, and Stevens. Your last finishers on the way in here. I don't know if any of them are going to be able to beat 39:09. This will be Rush on the way in. 10:27 start time for her. See if I can see the clock. Take about 15 seconds off of what we see here. So 11:08, I'll call it 11:08:40 finish time for her. It's a good time. I think about 41:40, something like that for Catherine Rush. Let me get confirmation on that. But, my back of napkin math tells me that that might be a sub 42 ride, which would have been impressive before Emily Erlick's 39:09 changed the entire perspective on everything. Remember, before that, it was Jen Wheeler's 41:19 in the hot seat. Trying to get some more times and see if I can get an updated top three on the day here. Got some official times, well, I'll call them unofficial, but more accurate than my math times, including a 46:23 for Anna Magala, a 43:18 for Anna Hicks, a 45:18 for Catherine Sheridan. And now got another one on the way in here. Let's see who this is. That is going to be Kosiva, I think, in the national champs kit of Kazakhstan, number 155. 10:26 start time, 11:11:20 finish time. It's going to be Minori Minagawa, I think, on the check that. Wow, is this Mejias coming in? Confirmed. All right, 11:11:48, her finish time here. I'm going to be doing some math on paper. Excuse me if I miss maybe Gil or Villamazar on the way in here. So I think she's going to be about a 40, 48, something like that. There, oh, I just saw the red of what I think must have been Pato Bike. Again, sorry I missed it. I just caught a frame of Villamazar, who must have been coming through here. Not going to be good enough to beat Mejia. She started 2 minutes behind that. This is Shafi on the way in here. 11:12:45 for her. Oh, check that. 52 is going to be Aliyah Shafi. So call it 11:12:55. And I still don't see Lauren Stevens in here. That must be her on the way in. Stevens going to hammer it here. 10:33 start time for her. And her finish will come 11:13:24. So it'll be about, I think, a 40:24 for Stevens. Erlick with a 39:09. If Stevens' time is correct at 40:24, I think that's going to be enough to move Emily Erlick into the overall lead. Remember, Erlick started the day today at 54 seconds down on GC. A 39.09 to Lauren Stevens 40.24 would be enough. So I'm going to wait for confirmed times for Stevens here. I know for sure Emily Erlick going to win the stage today, and now we just got to do some GC calculations. Not sure if you can still hear me on here. I'm going to give you some of what I think are my GC times here. I think Mejias did a 40.48 ish. Shafi did a 40.55. Stevens did a 40.24. And Erlick did a 39.09. So if that math is correct, that'll be enough to move Erlick into pink. I'm going to wait for confirmation to say that's official, but that's my math as of right now, as Stevens 40.24 to Erlick's 39.09 would be enough to overcome her 54-second deficit heading into the day. Mejias a 40.48. That's going to drop her 24 more seconds behind Stevens. And Shafi going to drop even further back with her 40.55 today. So that's what I've got. Check Instagram for any more up-to-date information.
jersey. Representing Virginia Blue Ridge 2028, Marlos Mejias.
All right, here, do me a favor. Put those on at the same time. We're gonna double dip.
Back. You want them.
Oh, you got him.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
And our mountain jersey.
You're easy to find.
And our mountain climber.
Yeah.
Still in those polka dots with the Washington
polka dot
apples
jersey, right?
emblazoned in those red dots.
Let's show it.
He just did his sleeves are short, yeah, but I think. Yeah.
This one. Put those on.
Representing the Aegis squad, number 21, Lauren Stevens.
Give us some.
In our best young rider jersey, representing the competitive edge team, bib number 43. We can't tell it from her current shirt, but it's all going to work out in the end. Mia Hesseltine.
That's a fine right there, bro. No second kid.
Right on, hands up, Mia. Throw it up, girl. Nicely done.
Yeah. Well, there's yeah. Okay, that's cool. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks.
All right.
Emily, no, this one.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Oh, you're up there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, more podium.
One more podium. Sorry, ladies. We'll get you going.
Ace, scoot out a little bit, Ace. So we see the word blue.
Sure.
You going?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you-
Yeah.
That work?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Love it. Okay.
Do we need a sticker? Okay, never mind.
There we go.
Got it.
Get up here, Emily.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, you got this. Perfect.
Hurry up, Lee. Hurry up, Lee.
Okay.
Oh, you got stickers too?
Wrong with that? Look good for the Oakley side?
Yeah. Go this way though, so we don't block blue. There you go. Perfect. Ace, hide that belly. Oops, sorry. Love it.
Looks great.
Come on, Joe. Get out of my page.
Okay.
All right, we're here with Mia Asseltine of Competitive Edge Racing, continuing in our Best Young Riders jersey. Mia, how was the time trial? We're here at the end of stage 4.
It was really hard. It was really windy today. We had a pretty decent headwind in the second half. So yeah, it was a tough one.
Is time trial your specialty?
I wouldn't say so, no.
But okay, and so we have one stage left. It's a doozy with that finish. Have you had a chance to recon it?
No, I haven't. I just looked at the profile and it looks like we have a lot of climbing on tap for tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Well, lots of luck for tomorrow and defending that white jersey.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mia Asseltine, and then we'll grab our pink jersey as well as our green jersey. Mia, Marlise Mejias from Cuba, who finished third today on the stage. We saw Lauren Stevens, an incredible finish as well on finishing second. But it was Emily Erlick's day, just coming hot off of a gold medal at the Pan American Championships in the individual pursuit. She also podiumed at the time trial there as well as a road race. So just coming off incredible form. We're just weeks ahead of nationals. So we're going to talk to her. With her finish, she was the only rider to come under 40 minutes out of time of 39:09. So almost a minute and a half nearly ahead of Lauren Stevens. So we're going to grab Emily Erlick for a live interview here, and we will get back to you shortly.
Windy, but on the way back, you could definitely tell.
This is the second road time trial that you've done this season after racing the Pan American Championships. We just have nationals not too far away. How is your thinking about your form so far? Obviously, really good today.
Yes, it's been up and up, so I'm really excited to see how I'll do for nationals.
The team has been doing incredible this season, even though we've missed you at the other stage races. We're really happy to have you here at the Tour Bloom. Have you previewed stage 5 at all?
Yes, a little bit. Not a lot because it's very difficult and not very fun to preview, but we kind of know what to expect.
And just last, we spoke about it in our other interview, but how important is it to have an opportunity for the pro women to have another UCI race here in Washington?
Yes, there's so many amazing women in cycling in the U.S., and we need these kinds of races. It's essential for us to grow.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations again. We look forward to your defending tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Great job today by Emily Erlick. Again, the only rider today to finish under 40 minutes. And we will see you tomorrow for the start of stage 5, our finale for the Queen stage.